Did you ever consider when was the first moment you felt that you belonged to a certain group and therefore not to another? It's an interesting question. You see, a few years ago I was asked to write a theater play with an Iranian guy that came here as a refugee when he was 3 years old, and me being from Israel, he being from Iran, the Dutch producer heard money kind of falling from the sky. The two countries are not doing so well together, great for promotion. He asked us to write a theater play about it. Now, we wanted to go to the bottom, to the root of the matter. And when you're a man from the Middle East and you want to get to the root of something, you go to one person, and that is your mother. So we went to our mothers. The moment Sahand understood that, my friend, my Iranian friend, he jumped on his bike and he started to cycle to the west of Amsterdam to the little immigrant flat where his parents live. And I opened the Skype and I called my mom, and he sat on the sofa in front of his mom, and we asked them this question: when was the first moment you realized you belonged to a group? And here's the two stories they gave us. Now, one thing you have to know is that mom, my mom, even though I grew up and was born in Israel, she's actually Iranian, an Iranian Jew, apart from a very ancient community of Jewish people living in Iran. And she grew up in the same city that Sahan's mother grew up in, funny enough. So Sahan's mom, she told him that when she was 5 years old, there was one thing she loved to do the most, and that was to sing. And every day she would wait up for the moment that her mother will go to the marketplace, so we will be able to be home alone and sing. And she wasn't singing some cheap children's songs. She was singing these ancient Persian melodies full with wisdom about life. And one day when her mother went to the marketplace, she woke up and she went into that living room, much bigger than this, with real Persian carpets underneath, and she jumped on the sofa and she started to sing. And emerald and rubies started to flow out of her mouth like this, spreading and filling the space. Now, my mom, when she was 5 years old, at the same age, she was waiting for the moment that her mother will come to her and say, "Come with me to the marketplace." And every day she went to her and she says, "Mom, are you going to take me to the marketplace?" And my grandmother said, "No, when you'll be 6, I'll take you." The day she turned 6, she woke up in the morning. She stole my grandmother's most beautiful hijab decorated with red flowers. She stood next to my grandmother's bed. She shook her and said, "I'm 6. Are you going to take me to the marketplace?" Well, a promise is a promise. And my mom told me that the moment she entered that marketplace, it was like an orgasm of the senses. It's not like Albert Heijn here when the vegetables are wrapped with plastic. I'm talking about mountains of spices and lots of fruits, and the man walking around tapping the watermelon to see if they were ripe. And my mom was so excited, so she ran forward and she found herself in front of this vegetable stall, and in front of her eyes, this big, black, fat aubergine. And she reached out to touch it. "Don't touch the vegetables." Now, Sahan's mom, back at her room, climbing on the sofa, singing, pretending there is 1,000 Iranian men in front of her that she's singing to. Suddenly she hears the key in the door. The door opens. There stands her mother, telling her, "Don't sing." Now, my grandmother, back at the marketplace, she pointed out the vegetables. And the seller, he placed them in a box, and he handed the box to my grandmother. And back home, my mother asked, "Why couldn't I touch the vegetables?" Well, you see, because if you would have touched them, no one else would. Why? All the other people were doing it. Yes, but you see, we are not like all the other people. We are Jewish. "Why can't I sing?" Sahan's mother asked her mother. "Well, because if you sing, you go to hell. Not only you, also all the men that listen to you will go to hell as well. And because you send them to hell, you will go to hell twice. We don't sing, we are Muslims." So there you go. The stories they told us. The stories that separated them and made them belong to one group and therefore live in different countries. Now, 3 years ago, something really beautiful happened. My mom came to visit me in Amsterdam. And I told her, Mom, I want you to meet my best friend. So we went to visit Sahand in that little immigrant flat in the west of Amsterdam. And I tell you, the moment she opened the door, I saw 20 years disappear from her skin. I saw the eyes of a child. She was looking at the Persian carpets, at the silver plates on the wall, at the opium pipe. She was sniffing around saying, I know this smell. What are they cooking in the kitchen? And they led us into the living room. And there she sat next to his mother, Sahand on one side, I'm on the other side, and they started to talk in Farsi. I didn't understand a word. But by their behavior, I realized it's going really well. They like each other. And at a certain point, they were even holding hands and kind of caressing each other. And then Sahand's mother shouted a command to the kitchen, Ali, bring the ice cream. Now, I see the skeptical look in your eyes. You're sitting there thinking, being down to earth, Dutchy, you know. Some of you might be thinking, that's a nice ending for a story. Solving this problem that has no solution with a little trick of a storyteller. Well, especially for you, I brought a proof. Can we put those two pictures? Oh. Now, here's the thing. Stories can be powerful, creating this separation between us. But in reality, can you even guess who is who? Thank you.